Hello, I'm Ben.
Hello, I'm Jamie.
Hello, I'm Mark, and it's time for another episode of Through the Garden Gate. Come on, Jamie and Ben, where are you? This is what I get for coming outside.
Ben's in. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you see me?
No.
That's normal.
Standard. I'm used to it. Don't worry about it.
Get Ben.
It's all good. I don't need to see anyone. I'm quite happy just talking away to a picture of myself.
I'm outside.
Jamie's outside.
Is Jamie
Proper.
in as well? I can't see any of you again.
No way. I'm outside. I am.
So am I. Doors open.
I have got a hat just in case it gets a bit cold later.
Well, it's even more a momentous occasion because I'm sat in my greenhouse and it's not full of water.
No, you're not telling everyone you sat in a dinghy.
I did see your stories, Mark. That looks quite nice, to be honest.
Yeah, it's completely dry now.
First time in how long?
Since 20th of October.
It's raining here.
God.
And it sort of spat about when I first came down here, but it hasn't. So, fingers crossed. After last night's storm, that was brutal.
So when you
You had a
were
storm
mucking about trying to get Instagram going, I went and looked at some of Ben's stories and saw you pop up your little lupin, Ben. That's not as little now. Growing along.
I know they're not even in here anymore.
Oh, just watch you pot it on.
Well, no, you've seen the video of me potting it on. I didn't do it. I didn't do it literally like half hour ago. Come on.
Morning then.
Did I?
Might have.
Anything that's been potted on, apart from what I potted on today, is now down the allotment. Because I have literally run out of space in it.
Yeah. Well, you run out last week, and then you've been potting more on.
Yeah, but it's got worse. Because things have grown.
Got to get worse to get better.
I literally come out here this afternoon to make space.
Yeah.
Make you a little cubby hole.
It's everywhere, look. Even behind me. Well, you can see it. I've got two little greenhouses in here now.
Oh my God.
Two greenhouses.
All up there. And obviously in front of me as well.
You're now filling up the allotment greenhouse as well.
Yeah, that's nearly full. It's all right. I've got another one in the loft I can build and put on my other plot, so I'm not too bothered.
Jesus.
Greenhouse number 3, please. Come on down.
You need a dome like the Eden Project over your whole garden, and then your greenhouse.
Yeah, I'm thinking of asking my local plant nursery, to be honest, if I can borrow one of their polytunnels.
That's not a bad idea.
I know, because one of them's empty. I seen it the other day.
You probably wouldn't need the whole thing, would you? Just a section down one side, just lay it on the floor.
I don't know the way it's going. It's bloody ridiculous. Well, put it this way, right? This is my dahlia seeds, yeah? I've got 4 of those trays of dahlia seeds to pot on.
Nice.
Because you've got about 100 dahlias to pot on.
Probably 1,000.
Yeah, probably more than that. But when I sowed my dahlia seeds last year, I had no germination. So I sowed the lot this year, and every single bastard one of them's germinated.
That's always the way.
It's all right. Right? I don't mind.
Can't beat dahlias, but yeah. Oh, don't know.
I know, but I ain't got nowhere to put all that, man. Selling them on Facebook, I will.
Why not?
Right, should we see if we can get our guest in? Because that might be
the next nemesis.
So tonight's guest is a former interior landscaper, short time, an RHS judge, a podcaster, a gardener, a fishy Land Rover, shopkeeper, a dog owner, a niece, a editor and author, a guest speaker, and now on our podcast it is, of course, Tamsin Westhorpe.
Is she going to come in? Will Ben be able to see her?
Good evening.
Good
There
evening.
she is.
Oh, this is
I can
great.
see you.
Do you know, I feel like I've let you down because I'm inside
Hello.
and I've been mucking about with lighting. Look, I've got all these like hoop lights. I've got to be well lit for this. But I should have stayed outside. This is very good of you to have me.
No, thank you for coming on.
For a long while.
Exciting. Very exciting. So, what's the plan? What are you going to throw at me? That's what's worrying me.
Nothing too tedious. Just talk to you about your life, your work, your garden.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I'm hoping you can all cheer me up because, as you guys have had, it's so wet. We were meant to be opening for the National Garden Scheme tomorrow, and we just can't. We're just waterlogged. So, yeah, it's just after 6 months of work, it's devastating. But you can't risk it because it will just trash the place for the rest of the season.
Will you be able to get another date for later on in the year?
Yeah, I mean, we'll open anyway as soon as we can. But yeah, it's just, our cafe and plant sales are opening. So they've been frantically making cakes, my sister and her team today. And I've been annoying them saying, can I just test the coffee? Because we have a barista machine and I'm the only coffee drinker in the family. So I'm constantly testing the coffee.
You have to, definitely.
That's what keeps me going in the garden.
So Mark just does his normal introduction, like you just heard, obviously. But his microphone just broke as I heard something about fishy Land Rover.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I should start with that because I haven't got a clue what that's about.
Yeah. So, a couple of years ago, I wrote a book about. I fell off a ladder. I don't know if you know, and broke my spine. So I had 12 weeks of not moving, and I'm not good at that. So I thought, what can I do? So I started writing my life story, my gardening life story from like childhood up to now, in like a very comedy form. There we are. There's my book, Grasping the Nettle. So it's sort of 25 short stories. And it was really good to do, actually, you know, revisit your gardening life. And I remember when I was at Horticulture College, I thought, I saw in a local newspaper an advert for an old Land Rover. It was, I think, 1972, which was my birth year, for sale at Southampton Docks. And I thought, I've got to have this, got to go and see this. Went down to Southampton with a friend, drove this Land Rover, which really no one should have bought. It was beyond help. But it belonged to a fishmonger. And it absolutely reeked of fish, and it had, fish and logos all up the side. I mean, I was only 19, and I was a student. Not the best look for college, is it? Being the girl that turns up in that. So, so the fishmonger was like showing me all the bits and whatever, and I was too young and naive to say that I didn't really want it. So I actually bought it because I just thought, this is too embarrassing now. So I bought this Land Rover, and it needed hundreds of pounds spending on it. I could never afford to drive it anywhere, and the smell of fish never really quite went. So yeah, that's a chapter in my book. But I'd sort of got visions, as you guys would appreciate, all my tools in the back and doing a bit of jobbing gardening with my landy.
Yeah.
But I think I probably only earned about £8 a week doing gardening. So that wasn't going to fill a diesel tank.
No.
Yeah. So I kept it for about a year, and then I don't know where it is now. You can guess, can't you?
Yeah, I bet you wish you still had it now.
I do. It'd be worth more than what I paid for it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
They were.
They're worth loads now, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
They are. But I'm looking for one for or used to be, I think I've got a bit boring now, but I used to sort of just do things on the spur of the moment and think, oh, I'll worry about that later. Yeah, I've got slightly more sensible as I've aged, unfortunately.
I think we all have, to be honest.
It's a
I
shame.
haven't.
Ben has.
I haven't.
No. Brilliant. Don't
Not
do
even
it.
slightly.
Don't join us. Keep doing random things.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
Definitely.
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, true.
No.
Get out of bed in the morning, it hurts.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm definitely with you.
What were you doing up the ladder then when you fell off?
Oh, well, I look after my uncle's garden, Stocktonbury, so I'm normally there gardening, but I've got a reasonably large garden at home that I don't need. I've just got I'm gardening, 24/7. And I looked out the window one day and I thought, I've got to do something with this garden. Right. And I thought, I'm going to grab the ladder, just get out. I've got these lovely aronia trees on standard stems. And I was just neatening them up, making them look like something acceptable. And my family were out. I didn't have my mobile with me. And I basically was an idiot. There's no other word for it. Went up to the second to top step, leant in just to I'm just going to grab that branch.
Oh.
And that was it. The ladder went from under me and, yeah, bosh, on the floor.
Makes me cringe just thinking about it.
Yeah.
I've come off a couple of ladders before over the years. I'm an electrician by day, so
Oh gosh.
I'm always up and down ladders.
Yeah.
The last one was a couple of years ago, and that was quite bad. Well, not too bad. It was bad for me, but I didn't actually break nothing, or
Yeah.
But that was from a big height. It was not good.
No.
Good. But I pushed myself off, to be honest.
Do you?
My own fault. I was drilling a hole through a wall, and I had a metre long drill bit, and I had it up, and obviously as I pushed the drill, that just pushed me straight back. And there was a bay tree underneath me which I just cut out the way to get through, and there was, I don't know, 5 or 6 big stumps coming up the middle. And I thought, if I don't jump, I'm going to land straight on that. So I jumped off and landed on the gravel.
But you see,
it's not very good. You
haven't got what I had, which I had quite long hair then, and I had my hair in a bun, like a ballet bun. You know those squidgy, do you know those donut rings?
Yeah.
And I had my head on that. So the ballet donut ring, saved my head.
Saved you?
But I don't see that you have a need for that. So
no, I don't. I'd look a bit of a wally. Yeah, or maybe just a hard hat or something would help. But they are. Never mind. I didn't bash them head, but they are. Never mind.
Good.
Oh. Enough of horrible stories, ladder stories.
Yes.
No, not very good. Where did your love of gardening come from then? Sorry, Mark.
Well, lots of different areas. I'm not quite sure on the exact moment, but obviously I grew up with a family that garden. So my uncles always gardened. My great uncle was a very well-known clematis breeder, John Treasure, who was best friends with Christopher Lloyd. So we were surrounded by gardening. But I actually think the truth is, when I was younger, I didn't really, I used to like doing my own patch of gardening, but I didn't think of it as a career, particularly as a child, not till I was a teenager. But I think, if I'm honest, there was a boy at school who was about 14. This is another chapter in my book. And I quite liked him. And he always had mud under his fingernails. He was quite an unusual guy. He had a tooth missing. It's not, sounding good. And he had a pet rat. And he was a really keen gardener. So I thought I would impress him by growing all these tomato plants and bring them into school, and sort of, flirt with him that way. It didn't work. He didn't notice me. So I think that's what got me wanting a greenhouse and growing tomatoes and things like that. So I thought, this is something a bit different. And I didn't even like tomatoes. don't even like. Well, I do now, but then I wouldn't have eaten a tomato. So, yeah, attention seeking, basically.
Love it.
No, never mind. Didn't work, but they are.
No,
Found your love.
exactly.
Yeah.
What you thought you were going
I
to.
know what I'm doing with my wife tonight.
But it's the love,
That's
isn't it? The tomatoes, the love.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Ben, that's not a very impressive tomato plant. I'm sorry.
Hey, she's not used to being impressed, I can tell you.
Yet. I'm so behind. Crazy.
Only April.
I know. I'm just. I'm looking at a pile of seed packets now, thinking, "Oh my word!" There we go. There's another day tomorrow.
You must have sown something by now, surely.
Oh yeah, we have beans, some cosmos, but I've got, like you all probably have, far too many seeds. I just collect, and I didn't sow them last year. It's just the days fly by, don't they? And you always regret it if you don't do it. So I must get more organised.
And then you sow the whole packet, and
You don't need them all.
you ended up like Ben with probably 150 dahlias he's got to put on soon.
I'd quite like some of those dahlias. You need
You're in
some.
Bristol, help yourself.
Yeah, I do like
Loads.
that, actually. In Hereford, there's a lot of sort of people that put all their spare seedlings and mini plants outside their gate. And I love that. I'm well up for that. So I drive around and, put a few pennies in the pot. I think that's an excellent way of getting plants. It's really common around here.
Yeah.
As is giving away big sacks of horse manure, by the road, being in a country location.
We've got horses, but I don't use it because I use a lot of plant grow, this other stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of people try and sell it round here, and my wife says, just give it away. Nobody wants to buy it for £1 a bag. Just give it away.
But I used to sell it for pocket money, so it's probably kids think,
oh yeah, maybe.
Make 50p. But yeah, it's probably more like £5 they want now, isn't it? In today's.
It's about £3 to £5 a bag in Bristol.
Wow. Yeah.
It's like, nah, I've got my chickens. They do it for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but to be honest, to make the amount of horse poo to fill that sack, it probably costs about £40.
Yes.
Trust me.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
And the time.
What did you say a second ago, Mark? Sorry.
I can't remember now. Past. Can't remember.
Oh, he's got a list of questions that I can see. He's got a notebook.
He has got a notebook. Get into it then, Mark.
Yeah.
So, an RH judge, how did that come about?
Oh, RHS judge. Well, I was editor of the English Garden at the time, and I think it was through Elizabeth Banks from Hergus Croft, who was president of the RHS, and that's obviously a Herefordshire garden as well, so I knew her, and I think she wanted more women judges, and so I think she put my name in the hat. So I had someone from the RHS come and visit me, and it's an amazing thing to be asked, but it's not something that happens overnight. So they came and interviewed me. They want to know that you're somebody that's trustworthy, and you're not going to run around saying, I know the results, and all that. You're not going to take a £5 off a journalist that wants to know that who's got a gold. That's a lot to do with it. And obviously, when you're a judge, it's not something you get paid for. It's an honour to do it. And you need to dedicate quite a few days a year to it. And we're constantly trained. We're constantly assessed. So it's a big responsibility, but it is, like I say, it's a fantastic honour. And it's probably something, one of the things I'm the most proud of doing. And it's I judging as my holidays, because I don't get holidays when the garden's open, we don't go anywhere. But I think, I can get on a train and I'm doing something, but I'm away and with people that I love and with, you know, fantastic minds and being in a wonderful place. So for me, it's sort of a work, but a holiday, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
Change of scene.
Do they look for qualifications, or is it just all on experience?
I think it would be experience, and I think we had a lot of training when I started. We used to go to Cardiff and have proper training days, so they soon pick up if you're someone that, I don't know, doesn't offer anything up to the conversation or talks too much or veers, because it's such a strict criteria. You've got to be quite disciplined, and if you don't have anything sensible to offer, they'll soon weed you out, horticultural term. So you've got to be offering and bringing something to the table, mostly. But I don't think they would look and say, oh, you've got 4 GCSEs and RHS. I don't think it's like that at all. Thank the Lord, or I would have made it.
You definitely made up for it with all your experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a hands-on, give it a go once, see what the hell happens. Yeah, I don't like the sort of school examinations and qualification route. I know it's a very good way to learn things for some people, but for me, I'm a sort of visual learner and so yeah, I'd much rather do that.
I think
I would too.
Yeah.
That's why you end up doing what we do, like being a gardener.
Yeah.
You learn, which is why people end up in this profession, I guess.
I used to teach the RHS certificate at Kingston Moorwood. I had one day where I'd do practical classes with a group. It was all hands-on learning. And then in the evening, I did a course on the same course, but it was in a classroom at the university. And I just, as a teacher, it was so hard. And I was told to keep the classroom tidy. And I thought, what am I doing in a university? You know, never done level, it's a joke. But I used to turn up with all these plants and compost, trying to make it, you know, as practical as possible. So when we'd go to leave, I thought, oh my God, you know, it's compost. I had to take dustpan and brushes and everything. But for me, it's got to be have a go and see how you get on.
Well,
Definitely.
It's a practical profession. You can't learn it by looking at a book, really.
No, I'm with you on that, definitely.
You can't sow a seed by reading a book about how to sow a seed, really.
No.
I keep thinking about the RHS qualifications, but you hear so much negative stuff about them as well. I don't know whether to, you know, have a look and go for it.
I think they're a very good starting point because it's quite accessible for everyone. You can do them online or go to a college. So it gives everyone, you know, a chance. I would rather go to a college and meet people and get stuck in. I think it gives you a really good broad view. I definitely think they're worth doing. But what actually is really good is if you can volunteer somewhere or work in a garden, even like one afternoon a week, just seeing the whole garden through for the whole year. That is a really good way of learning your craft, definitely.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's a few gardens around here. I might have a look at that.
Yeah, I mean, I worked in the parks department in Bournemouth for a year as my work placement at college, and I learned more there than I probably did at the 2 years at college. I mean, brilliant. Yeah, really did learn an awful lot.
That's what happens in every profession, isn't it? I get apprentices come through with me who've been in college for a year and just think, oh my goodness, what have you done for a year?
Yeah,
just not a clue.
No.
It was the same for me in the catering trade when I was chefing, and that was in Bournemouth College. And I lasted 6 weeks, and I was like, look, I'm so fed up of cutting veg and making soup. I'm out.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting out, and literally I went and did apprenticeships for 3 years. And when I left, I was a head chef of a pub. And the guy I went to college with left college with all these diplomas, and he was my second chef.
Brilliant. But
They're absolutely useless.
yeah, I do actually think that a lot of employers realise that. They realise that people with experience are very valuable. I definitely, you know, I think it's whatever job. I mean, I ended up editing a magazine, and I've never done a journalism course in my life. I haven't even got an A level, never went to uni. I just learned on the ground by messing it up. I started as the coffee girl, and I think that is that's the best way of doing it.
Definitely.
Because you see it all, you learn it all, and I do believe if you go wrong, that's when you learn.
Yeah,
you know.
Of course it is. Yeah, because you won't do it again.
No, especially if it's something you've written in and it's gone to print. You're not.
Yeah, if you're the proofreader, you've had it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a proofreader. I have done it, but it's not my favourite.
Oh no, no, thank you.
So,
go on, Mark.
The nudist camp that you were talking about in your book.
No, he only had to say one word. He cut out there.
Did lots, yeah.
I knew he'd bring this up. So basically, the word nudist, you're thinking, how on earth, what on earth has that got to do with Tamsin? So I'm not a nudist yet. But that would have given you a shock if you went live tonight, wouldn't it? Not having her back. So basically, when I was sort of a features editor of a magazine, we all had to come up with ideas all the time. That's what I loved about it. What can we do that will win an award at the company awards? What will get the competing magazines thinking, oh my goodness. So I'd read or seen somewhere about this amazing nudist colony, and the gardens were beautiful. So people had their sort of mobile homes. It was like a weekend place with gardens. And they were just absolutely stunning. And I thought, this could be great, you know, being free in the garden, take it to another level. So I pitched this idea to my editor thinking, he won't go with this. And he went, yeah, great, crack on. And I thought, oh no, I've actually got people contacted me who were just delightful, and found a photographer that used to take do a lot of shoots with models, so he was used to, you know, body parts, etc. So our job was to shoot these people but without showing anything, you know, because it wouldn't have been published. So we had to go there and set up shoots, like we had someone mowing in their wellies. We could show a bottom, that was fine. So it was so difficult because, you know, you can't go giggling and laughing. This is they believe in what they're doing. But what we didn't know is when we got to the car park, I said to the photographer, right, we've got to be serious now. We can't, this has got to be done professionally. And as I was saying that with my serious hat on, this guy walked past the car completely naked, and I screamed. And he said to me, well, I'm not going to be the problem here, you know, it's you. So anyway, it was amazing.
Brilliant.
Absolutely wonderful. The gardens were incredible. And what and then we thought, will we be allowed in with our clothes on? Because I hadn't actually asked that question. So I told the magazine we had to take our clothes off, so they probably believe it to this day, but we didn't. But basically what I took from that is the fact that actually it was a really, really wonderful experience, in that all those people had probably top jobs, different lifestyles, but everybody was totally equal. When you take your clothes off, everybody, you know, there wasn't a suit or a briefcase or a, you know, it was just people in their gardens. So I actually do look at it differently now and think maybe they've nailed it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they've got the ultimate relaxation. Yeah, it was strange but wonderful. In a way.
You've never joined in?
No, but oh God, where's this going? And I do, you know, hang the washing up with underwear on, you know, because I think we should be able to be in our gardens as we want to be. And I just think on a hot day, why wouldn't you? And I don't know. Life's too complicated. Let's simplify it. So, you know, if we were all naked gardening, we wouldn't have all these coats to dry, would we?
Just have a towel down. That's it. Done.
I know. There we go. Anyway, I knew, Mark. I guessed that. I was thinking, there we go. Oh, that's another chapter in my book. You see.
That's right.
I think he's reeling them off, isn't he? So, what about Naked Gardeners Day then?
Oh no, I haven't done that because my husband said, "Don't you even think about it." He can see me in the morning. My brain's ticking over. Instagram post and post. No.
My wife does the same, and I just ignore it.
Yeah, I think that you're past it. You know, come on. So no, I haven't. So if I ever do, it's because he's gone away. Yeah, I don't think the world needs it, quite frankly. There we go. But it's a great.
I haven't joined in, but
it's a great fundraiser, isn't it? It's great.
Yeah, it's
Powering for
fun.
Yeah.
So tell us about Stocktonberry, sorry.
Right, so it's a 4-acre garden and it's been in my family for 5 generations. But my uncle Raymond and his partner Gordon, they've created it over the last 50 years. So I've grown up watching them create this magical garden. And I lived there for a while, so when I was 16, so I think that's quite an impressionable age to see them building dry stone walls and arches, and you know, so I think that's wonderful for me. And we open it as a family. Well, meant to be opening it tomorrow for the whole of the open season. So we open from the beginning of April to the end of September, and we have a cafe, plant sales. It's lovely, and it's I think what's quite special about it is the fact that it is still our home. And I can see people saying that, oh, Uncle Raymond. So Uncle Raymond appears on my Instagram. He doesn't really know what Instagram is, but I film you, Ray, and he'll go, why? I said, well, just going to use it for something. Oh, okay. So I'm filming him, and annoyingly, if he's in a post, it does really well. If I nothing. So it's quite depressing, really. So one reel, I did a reel of him, and it's got like nearly 98,000 views.
Oh wow!
And so I keep telling him it's gone viral, and he hasn't got a clue what I'm talking about.
You better get the doctor.
Yeah. Turned up the other day to do something, and this lad gets out of the van and he said, oh, you're the guy off Instagram, my mum likes watching you. And he was like, so it is quite funny. So he's a star, and it's just a lovely place to be, and we love sharing the garden. We love chatting to people. It's a very friendly place, and people come on their own. Some people come every week. It's just quite quirky, but yeah, it's a lovely place to be in Herefordshire.
Oh, lush.
Is there a big house then? Is it an old stately home?
No, it's not, unfortunately. Well, it's got beautiful historic buildings. We've got a tithe barn, so we've got and a dovecot which date back to medieval times. The old house was never really, enormous, more of a sort of big farmhouse. That was pulled down in the 70s. So we've got a reasonably, you know, newish house. It's a lovely house. Yeah, so really the historic buildings are the barns, and the stables are still there. And it's great because my uncle was actually born there, and he's in his mid-70s, and some of the stories he tells me of the past are quite lovely. You know, that he would say, for example, all the coal was stored at the farm, and oh, my lighting's gone off. Probably has. He would go and deliver that on a pony and trap to the school. It's like being in the past, you know. It's really lovely, and we've got our little garden music schools, and yeah, it's great. Really good.
I've seen on a couple of your reels. there's a wall with big like pigeonholes in it. Are they beehives in each one of them? Yeah.
It's not original, actually. That's one of my uncle's little additions. So that's a bee bowl wall. So that's how in medieval times they would have had the bees in these baskets, the skeps, straw skeps. Yeah. We don't have bees in them because you would have to kill the bees to get the honey, I believe. So we have additional normal beehives. So those are just really a feature. But it's lovely. It looks lovely, doesn't it? It really does.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Get people's attention.
All the wildflowers in front of it, the fritilia and snake's heads and things are lovely. It looks really nice.
Really gorgeous. It looks lovely, isn't it?
My little wildflower meadow has not worked again for the second year.
Wildflower is too hard.
People, so frustrating.
It's really an art form. It's not easy. So.
I noticed at the weekend I went to have a proper look at it, and there was one little snake's head fritilia sitting there on its own. What's going on? It's had so many seeds and bulbs and God knows what in there.
Yeah, they probably all washed away, to be fair.
Washed away, and I think the muntjac have been getting there early mornings and nipping everything off as well.
That's not good.
No, definitely not. Very annoying. Well, never mind. Let's try again next year.
Yeah.
Another goodness knows how much seed and bulbs. Just talking back to when you were young again, you had a conversation with a very influential gardener about your jumper.
Oh yeah, my famous jumper.
Yeah.
So when I was sort of 16, 17, Christopher Lloyd would come to see my uncles. You know, they're very, very good friends. And to be honest, I just thought it was three guys walking around a garden. You know, I didn't know who, I knew he was their friend, but that was it, basically. And I remember him coming up to me, and I was wearing this purple jumper, a bit like this knitted pattern, really garish. I think a relative had knitted it for me. And he came up and he said, "Oh, I do love your jumper." And I thought nothing of it. And then I sort of worked out who he was and read a bit about him. I thought, wow, I'm not surprised by my jumper, because obviously purple, bright colours. So I've always kept that jumper. So we're talking, oh gosh, my maths isn't brilliant, you know, well over 30 years ago. Well, 30 years ago. And I've still got that jumper. I got it out the other day, and it still fits me, I'll have you know.
So, very good.
That's the main thing.
Brilliant.
What a compliment.
Is there a kitchen garden at Stocktonbury?
Yes, we've got a kitchen garden that is my uncle's domain, really. I'm more of an ornamental girl. But he grows he's kind of self-sufficient really for himself, and we use some of the veg in our cafe. We don't produce enough to cater for everyone, but so I've dug up some leeks today. Broad beans always going on his birthday on November the 18th every year. They're looking good. We've got a beautiful greenhouse, Griffin greenhouse, and in it he's planted potatoes. Nobody does that but he's got space, but he wants really, food is very important to him. He doesn't believe in going out shopping unless you have to. Well, I don't think he does go out shopping. So yeah, he's very, very self-sufficient with veg. And so the veg pack is absolutely key for him.
That's awesome.
Is it all all pristine rows and looks all nice and posh?
Yeah, I would say we're not no dig. We are no dig in the flower beds, so we great thing. But because he's always traditionally dug, I don't think you'd stop. I mean, it's been his patch since he was 5 years old, so he does what he does, and that's great. And it does look beautiful when we open. It looks really smart. Yeah. So it is straight lines, traditional varieties. We don't really grow wacky veg. It's all, very useful, very reliable, because he likes to have things that store well, that can stay in the ground for quite a while. So yeah, I've managed to get an actual line of dahlias in there this year. I know. Wow. Yeah, so I would probably intermix it. We've got sweet peas as well, but I would probably add more rows of cut flowers, but I don't think he'll let me. I think I've reached my limit.
Well, he'll know they'll bring in more pollinators, so he might.
Well, yeah, true, but yeah, I think he's all about what can be eaten.
I think that's going back to the double digging thing. My dad used to do it, and I should sit and watch him. He'd take the first row out, put it in a wheelbarrow, and then turn it into there, and all the way down the garden, then put the last row. But that's what you said. It's inbred, isn't it? That's all he's ever done, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh, someone's saying perhaps I can persuade him that dahlias are edible. Excellent plan.
They are edible.
Give that a go. Yeah, and obviously because the farm is in the centre of a working farm, so we have a farm, so we've got lots of manure that we would incorporate into that veg patch. So yeah, we're not short on that, which is very lucky.
Yeah. I actually tasted a dahlia tuber the other day.
Any good?
Just like a raw potato, exactly the same as a raw potato.
Yeah, I've not tried it. I tried a magnolia petal the other day.
Yeah, I keep meaning to do that as well. I keep seeing
them. Yeah. I'm not sure. I think they probably look beautiful in food, but it's a really almost like chicory texture, but quite unusual. It's very different. Yeah, try it and see.
They're quite tough, aren't they? They're quite.
Yeah, you don't want too much of it. It's more of a sort of little addition to something. I don't think you would want to live off it unless you were on some kind of tropical island.
Catherine says it's supposed to be a bit like ginger.
I didn't get that, but I wonder if each variety might be different though.
Yeah, possibly.
So possibly, yeah.
I only tasted nasturtiums the first time last year, and they just absolutely blew me away. I can't believe it.
I like the broad bean flowers. Oh, they're edible, but you don't want to eat too many because you won't get.
You'll get the bees.
So, yeah, but they are. I find them really like a little bit of early broad bean flavour.
Oh, I've got some actually with flowers on in the greenhouse at the minute. I might nick a couple tomorrow.
Yeah, lovely.
Brilliant. On my list, Mark's obviously exhausted his one. You mentioned it earlier about the English Garden magazine.
Yeah.
Do you still do some stuff for them? Still write for that?
I write for all sorts of magazines. Anyone that'll have me, basically. So yeah, I write for, I don't know, Garden News or something for Gardens Illustrated. I'm all things to all people, I think. I hope. But we obviously like to be in magazines as well. So I'm seeing it from the flip now. So I'm being interviewed about the garden. So that's quite weird because it's normally me, doing the other. But yeah, I do still like writing, and I do. I edit the Horticultural Trade Association magazine, which I love. So yeah, busy bee at night.
Yeah, I think we all are. We all do our little bit, didn't we? We have to sit down at silly o'clock and start writing the bits and bobs that we have to do.
I don't like using dry daylight hours for writing.
No way. Definitely not. Talking about dry, I think it's now started to rain. Oh, God.
You ain't got your umbrella with you tonight either.
I haven't got my umbrella, no, and I'm not under the apple tree, but then the apple tree has got no leaves on it, so there's no point.
So annoying.
The garden, is it lots of small gardens, so you can walk through one bit of hedge to another one and through another?
I think people quite like it for that. It's not like a grand park, with massive long vistas. We've got, the kitchen garden's quite separate. We've got a dingle, which you go down some steps. We've got a secret garden. So there's quite a lot of different gardens. And I think people get inspiration from it because there are those little pockets. You think, oh, actually, yes, I could try that. We've got a very small garden behind the house with an auricular theatre and raised beds, so it's quite varied. But I would say it's got some really unusual plants in it. So it's the sort of garden you go, what on earth is that? There's lots of that going on.
Yeah. Linda Pierce has just said you've got a secret garden in there as well.
Linda's been, I know. So yeah, it's and the secret garden is secret. It's really quite tricky to find. And so much so that I sometimes forget to weed it. That's my excuse.
Yeah. You've lost it. Is that the secret? You've lost the garden secret.
I need to add it for those at work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice. Yeah.
Lovely. I think lots of people have their favourite gardens. I've got a favourite garden around here, East Ruston or Vicarage.
I've never been. I'm dying.
Oh, it's amazing.
But I just haven't. It's such a long way from us. And actually, that is the sad thing. When you open your garden, you don't get to go anywhere because you've got to be here. So I'd like to, I can't. Winter's great, but most other people are shut. So so that is a shame. You end up seeing just your own garden. But I do love my favourite pocket of gardens are in Hampshire, where I was at college. So I do love Houghton Lodge. I don't know if you've been there. Near Stock, and it's near Longstock, which is the John Lewis garden, partnership garden. I love those two gardens. That's a nice little trip that I might do one day.
It's the NGS. There's so many. You've just got on the NGS website. There's just absolutely hundreds.
We're so lucky, aren't we, to have all that.
Yeah. There's one on the actual in our village, Gayton Estate. Their gardens. I didn't even really know about it. We just knew there was, the estate was there, and we went on the NGS day last year, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And it's literally, if I threw a stone as hard as I could, I'd probably get it in the garden. And I've never ever.
And the beauty is you see plants that you can grow at home. So I think going to gardens in your immediate area, from the Yellow Book or whatever, is just. I mean, it's brilliant, isn't it? It's more useful than a show garden in a way, because you can talk to the owner and see what's thrived and what the soil's doing. It's a really good way of learning stuff.
Yeah, because you more likely not got the same soil and the same weather conditions, so it's going to be, if it grows there, it'll grow in yours.
Yeah. Oh, someone else is saying they used to work at Longstock Water Gardens is beautiful. I work for John Lewis Partnership, so you can go to the garden when you work for John Lewis Partnership. I think it's like a bonus.
Ah, great. Fantastic. That sounds really good. Well, I think I've exhausted my list, Mark, as you.
I've got one more question about your podcast that I only just discovered today. What happened with that? Why did you stop doing it?
I did it for a company asked me to do it a few years ago, so it was their podcast, and that company is no more, I don't think. So I stopped because it was no more. But I got the podcast from them so I could keep it alive.
Yeah.
It's called Fresh from the Pod, and there's about 50 interviews with quite famous gardeners. And I loved doing it, and I should start it again, but I'm just so busy. And I know you guys do all these wonderful things, but I'm not that techie. And I think editing stuff, I need to get my head around it all, because somebody else edited it for me, which was brilliant.
That's why we've got Mark.
Yeah, Mark does ours.
Someone like that. Anyone that knows me will go, oh, I'm trying. But I do need to sort of think, do I do it again? All these things take a long time, don't they? And a lot of
very long time. And
I did 50, and I thought, well, I've done, that's a good number. And I'd interviewed a lot of people that I was desperate to interview. And it was just so lovely, because it was quite an old podcast now, so there weren't many podcasts around. I think when I started it was like an odd thing to do. So it was sort of, no one really knew how it was going to go, or what was, how it was going to work.
Did you do it in person as well? So you actually went to people and interviewed?
I did, and then the COVID hit, so we did it on Zoom then. It is brilliant doing it in person, I think, but it's not always practical. You could put a lot of miles on your car doing that, but and also I find people that are well known in the gardening world are so busy trying to get an appointment in the diary with them. I remember wanting to interview Toby Buckland, who I know really well. I think we met in a car park somewhere in Devon. He was like en route somewhere. Everybody's, you just got to grab someone when you can. So that was a good one, actually, because I ended up going through his glove box. No, he was in my car. He was going through my glove box, CDs. So you get golden things like that you wouldn't get on Zoom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I probably should do it again. But I did enjoy it.
You must have lots of friends in the gardening world that would be up for talking to you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the wonderful thing about this industry is the people you meet. I mean, I feel that I know so many people through horticulture, and I've had a lot of support from people through horticulture, that are really wonderful. My books came to book launches, and just, I think that's a really good thing about it. And I assume other industries are like that. I don't know for sure, but I do think it's, people are definitely up for sharing ideas, which is just lovely.
Are you doing any shows or anything this year? We go in 20?
I thought you were wondering if I was going to appear on the West End.
No. Gardening show.
So no, I'm doing Chelsea, judging at Chelsea, Malvern, and Tatton. So 3, which is
so 3 holidays this
3
year.
holidays, absolutely. And I actually have to get, that is the only time I buy new clothes is when I'm judging. I don't ever buy new clothes unless I'm going, I think, I maybe should buy something, which is nice, because otherwise I'm just always in bobble hat, so it's quite nice on all levels. It's good fun.
Normally a floral dress, I guess.
No.
Oh
God, no. I'm not really a dress person, actually, surprisingly. Might wear floral trousers or something. But just something clean, I suppose.
Started.
Yeah. Depends how involved you get in the judging, whether you get down in the underground.
Well, exactly. You've got to look like you're practical, you've got to look like you mean business. Yeah.
Oh wow. I think that's the time's up. Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, I've loved chatting to you all. It's brilliant. And I think
really
you're doing
good.
job, all three of you in the dark.
It's dark now.
Yeah.
I've got my pretty fairy lights to keep me.
That's lovely.
I can't
Have, it's always so exciting if someone says, "Will you appear on something?" You think, oh gosh, how lovely that they thought of little old me. So I'm very, very grateful. Thank you.
No, thank you. It's been really interesting. Thank you very much. And we'll look out for you at the shows.
Yes, give me a wave.
Come and say hello.
Yeah, brilliant.
I need to get Michael with me because I saw that he wanted to go to your place as well. So
Who?
Michael Perry, Mr. Plant Geek.
Oh yeah, dying for Michael to come. I've got a plant. He wanted a dictamnus, and I've got one still. For a couple of years, I'm waiting to give him this plant.
I'll get
Get me. That'd be brilliant.
be really good.
Fantastic.
All right. I
Thanks.
shall
Right.
press the cross in the corner. Thank you.
Tamsin.
See you. Take care.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wow. Love that. So interesting.
Nice.
So interesting. The garden sounds amazing.
I know. I really want to go. I've been threatening to go for a few years, but it's quite a trek.
Where is it? Hertfordshire. Herefordshire. Isn't that near you, Ben?
Sort of.
Walesy
Yeah.
way, is it?
It's sort of up a bit further from me, isn't it?
On over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
Long way from
exactly
me,
100%
but-
sure exactly where. I know it ain't too far from here. It's close enough. Like you can do it.
There's so many gardens, isn't there? That's just ridiculous. There's so many you can go
Nuts.
and have a look.
It's like Wainwright with the fells. You need to, as a gardener, you need to go and start ticking them off. Tick up the gardens.
It is near Wales. Kim says near Wales. Yeah, I thought so.
I mean, I haven't even been to all the RHS gardens, let alone all the other millions of gardens there are.
Exactly.
I don't even think I've been to any RHS gardens yet.
I've been to Rosemore, which is down in Devon. I've been to Bridgewater, which is the newer one in Manchester. And then I've been to, what's the one in Yorkshire? Never remember that one. Harlow Carp. I've been to five. But the other two are down south.
Yeah, I haven't done any of them. Terrible.
What about Wisley?
Yeah, Wesley's one.
Yeah, I've been.
Yeah, I've done that.
I don't worry, Ben. I ain't been to them either.
I'm not worried.
We're both.
I've been to gardens.
You just
It's
said
not
terrible.
the RHS ones. Hey?
You just said, "Oh, it's terrible." It's not terrible. I ain't done them either.
No, it's just a sort of thing that you expect. Like everyone's sort of done one of them, haven't they? But I haven't even been to an RHS show either.
I've only been to I went to Chelsea last year, and that's it.
Yeah, I haven't done Chelsea. I've worked on the site of Chelsea, just not when it was for this flower show.
No, I've never been either.
Mm.
To be
I
fair,
don't know what I think. Go on.
until Instagram, I hadn't done any of the shows or anything, to be honest. I've never been to Gardeners World Live,
No.
never been to Tatton, you know. It's only through getting connected through social media that I've started going to all these things.
Yeah,
Likewise.
same with me, really.
A lot of us, but not that.
Yeah, it's not nice though.
What did Claire say?
Catherine and Claire are meeting up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wisley is supposed to be like the most amazing garden of the lot because it's like the main one, isn't it? It's where all the officers are based and everything, and the research centre.
They're always shut when everyone else goes, aren't they? Every time Kerry goes, it's shut.
She goes pretty regular, doesn't she, with her and Ali?
I don't know. That's twice that I know she's tried to go and it's been shut for one reason or another.
Wouldn't you check before you drove that way?
I think one was shut because of the thunderstorm coming or something, and another time I can't remember. Didn't they go with all like Charlotte and all them lot? Didn't they?
No, we went the when we went to London, and that was Q. Q was shut because it
Oh, was it
was.
Q? Was it?
It was Q. Yeah,
Uh,
Q was shut because it was windy.
I
So
thought it
we ended
was.
up just going around London getting pissed.
I didn't realise you were with them that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Good day. Good day.
yeah. Roadworks are a mare around that way. They're everywhere at the minute, aren't they? As well.
Have all your
Hey?
have all your chicks hatched?
No. I've had 4 hatch from the first batch, and I've got 2 more batches in incubators at the minute.
What are you going to do with them all? Are you going to sell them?
No. No.
Bloody hell.
Because I wanted more, because I was only down to 9, and I had 21 last year.
Oh, you're topping up stocks again.
Yeah, so, and I'm going to have, obviously, some on my new plot as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to have 6 there as well. So I'll have a load at home, 6 on each plot on the allotment.
I still find it amazing that Charlie sends them through the post.
What, the eggs?
Yeah.
They all come through the post. They're all in polystyrene trays. Yeah, everyone sends them. They send them all over the place in them. As long as they're pointy end down, and then when they get it, you just leave them to sit for 24 hours, and then you put them in the incubator.
What's pointy end down about then? Why is that? What's the
So the
special
air and that all the
pointy end?
top. It's the word. Do you know what? I can't even remember off the top of my head. Someone will put it in the comments. I'm fucking tired. It's like an air sac, I think, at the top.
Oh, yeah.
I think, if I remember rightly. Just know it's always pointy end down. But yeah, it's been good.
Oh,
Mm.
Well, it's
here we go, boys.
out in the garden again, despite getting wet.
I'm cold and wet now.
I'm nice and warm in here.
No, I'm
I'm
going
not.
wet.
I've got the door wide open in my greenhouse.
I've got mine wedged shut because the hinge come loose day before yesterday. So I whacked another screw through it and I had my impact driver and sheared the bloody hinge. I haven't got a new one yet. I've got to get some new hinges. Literally, I went through a pop, 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 crack. Brilliant.
That's the only thing with impact drivers.
Oh, it's because it was the first one out the bag. Like, saw my combi drill. I was like, I can't be asked to change the head over and put a thing in. It's right, slug's just coming in through the door, so he's going for it. Or I see you later. Oh, go in Nat's border. There you go. And chew our flowers up. Leave my stuff alone.
Catapult the slug across the garden.
I just catapulted it to Nat's veg bed out, flower bed out here. Yeah, that's where they all go. They all go over there. But I got to be careful. Actually, my sweet peas are over there at the minute. Yeah.
I can actually show you plants that I'm in the greenhouse.
Yeah. Show everyone else. I can't see.
Very dark. They're sweet peas.
Some sown sweet peas.
Mine
That's
are looking all right.
my greenhouse.
I'll take mine if you want. I don't know if you'd be able to see them.
Yeah, they're doing really
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Those obelisks, can you see them properly?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were £5 each in home bargains.
Wow.
Yeah. They're quite smart, aren't they?
Recently.
Last week.
Oh, I might go and have a look. See if I
That's-
can sell.
Smart,
How
aren't
tall are
they? I just got them
they?
in. I'll show you. They got to be 4 foot.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah, probably 4 foot, I expect. Got to be.
Really cool.
Yeah, got to be about 4 foot. Smart.
Catherine said the church bells are going, Ben. Yeah, they are.
Oh, yes.
In tune to Ben's garden.
Look at his fucking plants. Jesus.
2 greenhouses in there now. I can't even get in my shed anymore. And then all this side. Pretty chuffed with my bunny tails, though. I got to be honest.
Oh, look at that.
That's cool.
I know, right? I just snapped all the heads off the bunny tails last year and stuck them in a pot, and then literally just thought the other day I'm just going to chuck them in a pot with some soil, and then that's what I've got. Bang it. But I have got a cucumber growing, And I don't mean a plant, I mean a cucumber. Indoors, in the hydroponics, I've got cucumbers growing.
Crazy.
You know those random seeds we found and we just did? Them ones. I'll have to take a photo and I'll put it on my stories later. But yeah, it's a full-on cucumber. It's only probably about ½ inch long at the minute, but I think I might have to pollinate everything in there because I don't think there's enough pollinators in the house. But no, it's all very green in here. It's definitely,
Nice.
It looks like
getting better.
Claire said, Jamie, Holly wants to know if you've managed to move a bale yet. A little bit. Not as much as Mark wanted me to do with the van the other day. I'm surprised you didn't post that.
I really should have done, because that was an absolutely hilarious video.
That was absolutely unbelievable. I couldn't believe
Somebody
it.
like a little van, you know, one that's like a car-sized van, obviously in a foreign country, and he just backs it straight onto the top of a bale.
Sat on
I've seen
top of
that.
the big round bale. I guess he
I've
was
seen
trying to
that.
just
Wicked.
nudge it, wasn't he? Trying to move the bale by the reverse into it, but he's on top of it.
It gets perfect balanced, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And he's
Like-
sitting on it.
I've seen that.
Mark said, are you going to try that next time?
Mate. Get a battered up old van. Oh, I've got the question. I am going to do a reel about this, and I'm going to show you all something tragic.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the
Your loofahs ain't gone, are they?
Oh no.
I don't
No. Are they damped
know
off?
what happened. I potted them on. They were thriving, and then all of a sudden, nothing. They are absolutely fecked.
How long ago was that?
Couple of weeks now.
Oh,
I haven't. I'm going to tell you some more. But yeah, I'm going to do a reel on it because I have no idea what happened, why they did it. I potted them on as I do, and then literally it just died. Just no reason whatsoever.
Oh, dear.
So they're out here to go in the compost, but I've just left them there because I want to do a reel about them, saying that everyone reckons I'm this loofah king. I'm really not. I'm as susceptible to this shite as everybody else.
Yeah. Oh,
So I'm
no.
gonna
After all
try
that amazing times that you've grown and everybody else is...
Yeah.
Oh, horrible.
Nice.
It doesn't matter. I've got more. We'll stick some more in, and I might even. Maybe I should try them in the hydroponic setup
Ooh.
once those cucumbers come out. But I don't know what to do with those bloody cucumbers now. It's like I've got cucumbers, but I can't take them anywhere. I mean, my ones that I've done outside, these ones. I mean, I've got these. They're a bit leggy, but where I started them off indoors. But that's how, if you early sowed them, they should be. But I've got full on, honestly, well, I'll take a photo. But I ran out of water in them the other day without realising. And bloody hell, my window smashed on my greenhouse.
Oh.
There's another job for tomorrow. And I will not put those cucumbers by that in case.
No.
But yeah, so this is just mad. They've got a couple of crispy leaves, but weather's shite. It's so cold here in Brazil. Pretty sure it was warmer this time last year. You're having a laugh, aren't you? We've only had a couple of bloody frosts.
Yeah, nothing, have we? We haven't had no winter, really. Just
I
wet.
don't think so. What's Bish saying? You will always be our king, Brazil. Man, I love you. I love you. I've still got a job.
See, Devon,
But yeah. Hey?
Devon had snow the other day.
I know. We've had nothing. We had one bit of snow, and I think we've had no more than 6 frosts.
Yeah.
No more than that.
Yeah,
And
same as us.
obviously I've got the tarpaulin roof on now, which is insulating this in here. But you can see everything that's growing. It's not a heated greenhouse, and most of this is grown out here. It's just mental. I mean, people have said to me, you shouldn't be growing beans yet, right? You should only be planting them now. Check this out. I call bullshit. The size of my head. Come on. But people are saying to me the other day on our allotment group chat that we shouldn't be, that it's too early to sow beans. And I'm thinking, no, you missed a trick there. Because it's been so good.
It don't matter as long as you can keep them warm. It don't matter, does it?
You want to see some cool beans though, right?
Cool beans.
You've never seen nothing like autumn's beans. I know we're going on a bit here, sorry. I got to show you autumn beans. Look at these bad boys.
Bloody hell.
Jesus.
She wanted magic beans, so we sowed a load of runner beans. I had a load of runner beans, right? We sowed them indoors, and we completely forgot about them. And they're in the, one of these little greenhouses in. Look at the leg on them. That's got to be 2 foot high. But she loves the fact that they're really tall, so we just leave them to grow really tall because she thinks she's having magic beans.
She might eat them, you know. You got to keep her interested in them all year, and then she'll start eating them.
I'm so proud of her though, because she's chuffed his arseholes with them.
It's nice seeing her getting involved a bit. I know down the plot and stuff. It's nice.
It is nice. It's hard work sometimes because she's at that age where she wants to just disappear and do her own thing. But she sows loads. She sows absolutely loads. I don't think I've got anything else of hers in here at the minute, but yeah, she does loads of stuff now. Yeah. It's great. So last year was sunflowers. This year's magic beans. But there's some good magic beans.
Just think how buzzing she'll see when they start actually growing up, you know, 6, 7 foot tall.
Well, Nat's even done some. But Nat's was sown in the same place, but these are down to the bottom. We've buried them.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just, but yes. I don't think it's been cold. I think this year we've had a very lucky winter here. No. I've got
crap this year.
I've got everything. Like, it's just stupid stuff. Like, even, what's this? I don't even know what I've got. Kale. That's the Simply Seed kale. So I've got to pot that on. Look how many I've got.
Mm. Yeah, I need to pot them.
But I've got to be honest, those Simply Seeds have been banging.
Yeah, they're really good.
Everything. Everything's germinated. I sowed 1 per cell in this. Yeah. And I think only 1 hasn't germinated or hadn't. I'm looking now, I can't even see it. But, oh yeah, there is. I know it's been chewed off. There's a stalk, but every single one. And that's the Calibres, I think.
Yeah. But, they are good seed. I haven't had no problems with anything.
Really, really good. So, chili. This is how warm it is. My chili's been outside for ages.
I don't put mine out.
But these have been all right. I've stuck them in another pot, in a wall pot, but just in case the slugs have a crack. But yeah, these are doing really well out here. There's no sign of it being too cold, and these have got to be out 3 or 4 weeks now.
Last year, I had to bubble wrap my greenhouse, and I was getting the little candle heaters out near enough every night.
And nothing. I've only covered them this year. I've only covered this up twice, and that was right at the beginning. Nothing. Sorry, I'm heat greenhouse and fine. Exactly. Joe's saying the same. Woolen terracotta is a winner. Yes, it is. Just be careful because obviously you're a lot cooler. You're on the east coast as well, aren't you?
It's warm over here.
Is it? I don't know because you get that cold thing come from the east, don't you? That beast from the east randomly hits you.
That's me.
Well, I didn't want to say nothing.
We haven't had any really since before Christmas.
No.
That's been nice. I mean, when did I sow these? The 25th of February, these sweet peas I sowed.
Yeah.
So they're only just over a month old and they're
5 weeks old. Yeah.
Yeah. They're doing really well. Again, nothing. I know sweet peas.
Had they only been in the greenhouse, Ben? They haven't been indoors at all?
They haven't been indoors at all. They were all sown out here.
You know it, Kieran. Jamie's the beast from the east. I might have a look at getting my chilies out. I might put them in. Oh, my chilies are big because they've been under the lights. I don't want to ruin them by putting them out.
Yeah, I had these next to the hydroponic set, but they've only been next to it, and they started. I had to literally turn them every day because they were starting to lean towards it. And I brought them out here, and I was like, you know what, they'll be fine. And then it happened, and they're the basket of fire. They're Simply Seed one.
I might put my cold frame in the greenhouse. That should be fine then, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Put it on the bench.
Yeah, because my theory is worst case, I've got these little mini zippies that I'm using for shelving, but I've got the covers, and I just have to whip the covers out the shed and just chuck them on. But it does help. But well, you can see I've literally got probably half a square meter to move in here now. To put anything on, I have to take a shelf out and then do it.
Yeah.
But it's good. I think we've had a very mild winter, and I think we've been very lucky.
It's just garlic cloves.
Yeah.
Solid lump, aren't they?
That's the thing, yeah. They won't split, will they? It'll just be one big clove.
Which is
No. I didn't plant mine.
Not at all.
still
No.
come in the
No,
free.
when I went to, they were fecked. So I didn't.
Were they?
So,
Or did they rot away?
Yeah. So I did go to, and I went to do it with the onions and everything. All my onions and that were knackered. So I decided, you know what, cut my losses, don't bother. But that's when I started doing all this lot. It's like I can't wait to prick out all those chard. That's going to be fun. But right, guys, I am going to leave you because I'm going to go and have something to eat, and we're going to carry on watching our Marvel movie marathon that we've started doing from the beginning.
Are you really doing all of them?
Yeah, man.
Bloody
Including some of the series as well, except Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because there is no way I'm banging through all those Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes again.
It's like 7 series, isn't there?
Man, I can't do that. They're 44 minutes long each, and some of them you need to do like 7 between films, and I'm like, I haven't got time.
I can honestly say I've never seen a Marvel film in my life.
Wow.
So,
You missed.
what's that?
Maybe you need to tell me a good one to start on.
Not Endgame. Because there's pointless watching the rest.
Just from the title, I realise what that one is.
Watch Iron Man or Captain America. You'll be all right.
All right.
Very good.
All right.
Well, that depends what you like.
All right, gents.
Yeah, I'm going to head off and go and have something to eat and listen to the bells.
Lovely.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. I'll see you later. Bye.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.